Hi, here we are with another non-starter. This time it's a Laguna, Renault Laguna on a 03 plate. It's been getting harder and harder to start in the mornings, but now it's a non-runner. Phil, do me a favour and spin that engine over please, just to prove it doesn't start. Okay. The battery did sort of sound a little bit low then, but what we'll do next, I'll just give you a shot of the dashboard just to make sure that, just to prove that the immobiliser is going off, and then we'll inject some ether into the engine just to prove that the engine is mechanically okay. I'll update you shortly. Okay, here we are inside the vehicle. Look, and the immobiliser light has gone out, so the immobiliser should be okay. There shouldn't be any immobiliser problems with this vehicle. Okay, what I'll do next, I'll just inject a little bit of ether into the engine just to make sure the engine runs if it was given a fuel source. Okay, when you're ready, Phil, can you spin the engine over please? Okay, won't do that for too long, don't want to cause any unnecessary damage to any parts, but that has basically just proven that the engine is mechanically okay and we've got compression. What we're missing here by the sounds of it, or by the looks of it, is injection. I haven't actually got the snap-on scanner with me today. Another garage shares it with us. I'll see if my little scanner will read any fault codes there might be in memory, to see if that can give us any guidance. If not, we're going to have to go down the route of just testing units, and to see if we can get any clues that way. Like I previously said, I haven't actually got access to the snap-on scanner today, so I'm hoping that, oops, when I finish throwing it about, that I might be able to get into this using this Autel scanner. But diesels aren't OBD2 compliant necessarily until 2004, and as this vehicle is a 03 plate, I might not be able to get any joy out of this, but give it a try anyway. Hasn't yet found a protocol that it likes, so it looks as though I might not be able to get into it. Oh yes, I have, by the looks of it. There's no pending stored codes on the memory. That's not very helpful. Or stored codes. No, there's no fault code stored in memory, so that means I've got no direction from the onboard computer whatsoever. I'm just going to have to test a few components and see if I can get some hints. I think what I'll test for next is the fuel pressure in the rail. See if I can get anything out of live data. It's not supporting this vehicle. Okay, right, okay, we'll abandon this scanner, and what we'll do next is test the fuel pressure sensor on the fuel rail and see if we can get any joy from that.
Hello, Gadget Man.
Have you scanned it then?
Yeah, there's no fault codes. Not shown on my scanner anyway. Right, I'm now connected on the fuel pressure sensor at the fuel rail, and I've got the 5 volts 5-volt reference going to it. I'm next going to check the signal wire, and that should read about 1/2 volt with key on, which it does. Phil, can you crank it over, see if we can get any reaction from that sensor? Okay. Well, that should have gone to well over 1 volt, although we are a little bit slow on the cranking speed. So what I might do next, I might put some charge back into the battery and try that test again. Okay, right, I'm still connected to the pressure sensor on the fuel rail. It's displaying, I'm connected to the signal wire, and it's displaying the 5 volt, the 1/2 volt as it should at key on, engine off. What I'm going to try here is just give it a bit of ether, start it, see if I can get, once the engine is running, if I can get any anything different and different readings from that pressure sensor. Phil, spin it over for a second. And again, please. Sorry, I should have kept it going. No, there's no pressure being built up in that rail according to that sensor. So, for some reason, either fuel isn't getting to it, or there's some other malfunction that's preventing it from building up the pressure. I'm going to just quickly crack off a pipe on the back of the pump. I know I shouldn't do it and it could be fatal, but I'll try and stand well out the way and see if there's any fuel coming out of there. Right,
Give it about an hour.
a very strong word of warning. I cannot overemphasize this. If you are going to attempt to crack one of those nuts from the fuel system, be sure that you've allowed it time to bleed down, and never ever crack a nut with the engine running or even turning over. The pressures generated by that high pressure fuel pump can be absolutely fatal. You've been warned. Phil, give that a crank. Okay, there's no fuel coming out of that fuel pump whatsoever. So we've got to investigate why now. Well, I'm here under the back seat at the, trying to see if I can get, if I've got a feed to the fuel pump, to the lift pump in the tank, and it doesn't appear to have any power to it. There's 4 wires here, 2 are thin ones, which I would presume are for the sender unit, and there's 2 other thick wires. One is a black. I haven't got the wiring diagram, but I'll presume that the black one is the ground, but I've pierced them both and there's no power to any of them with the ignition on. Okay, so I need to find out why power isn't reaching this fuel pump. It could be a fuse, it could be the relay, so I'll try and find those next and test them. Right, I've now found the cause why this vehicle wasn't running. The electric lift pump wasn't actually working. Eventually I traced it. I was working without the proper information, without the wiring diagrams or anything for this vehicle. It's down here, on the inner wing. There's the electric fuel pump, if you can see, and that unit there. I gave it a bang and it's working. I'll now show you that the car starts and we're getting the right readings from the fuel rail pressure sensor. Phil, could you spin that engine over please and try and start the vehicle please? Start the engine. Okay, the engine starts on the button now, and as expected we are getting 1.3 volts on the fuel rail pressure sensor at idle, which is absolutely right. If we rev it up we should go up to anything up to about 4.5 volts, but that should be the maximum. Phil, give it a rev it up. Oh, we didn't quite see that, but it wasn't revving very fast. So what I've got to do now is take that fuel pump off and inspect it properly, give it a proper test, and make sure that it's serviceable. Okay, switch it off please, Phil. Well, I hope this video has helped somebody out there with the same sort of problem. If you've liked it, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you've got any ideas, questions or comments, please leave them below. Until the next time, bye bye.